Dear friends, welcome. Have you ever wondered why some people suffer their entire lives yet somehow discover a peace that others never find? Today's story is about a woman named Rosie, a subscriber whose life journey touched me deeply. Thank you, Rosie, for believing in me and sharing your life story. Her story is not just about poverty, hardship, illness, or old age. It is about how suffering can become a doorway to wisdom and how the teachings of Ramana Maharshi helped transform a woman who had lost everything she thought defined her. Stay till the end because the final lesson from her life may completely change the way you look at suffering. Rosie was born into a family where survival itself was a daily challenge. There were 8 children in the household. Money was scarce, food was limited. Every day involved making difficult choices. Growing up in poverty teaches a child many things. It teaches resilience, it teaches sacrifice, but it can also create deep fears about security and survival. Rosie experienced exactly that, yet, despite the hardships, she learned one important lesson. When life gives you a very little, you learn to appreciate even the smallest blessings. Like many young women, Rosie believed marriage would bring stability. Instead, a new chapter of struggle began. Her husband accumulated debts from various sources, loans from friends, borrowings from relatives. Financial obligations seemed to appear from every direction. The burden eventually fell on the family. At times, Rosie wondered whether she would ever escape the cycle of debt. Many families today face similar situations. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of anxiety and emotional conflict in households around the world. Rosie's situation teaches us something important. Debt is not only a financial burden, it can become an emotional burden that consumes peace of mind. Rosie had 3 daughters. Looking at them, she made a life changing decision. She would educate them no matter how difficult life became. To support the family, she began tailoring clothes. Every stitch represented hope. Every completed garment represented another step toward a better future. She worked long hours, sometimes through exhaustion, sometimes through tears, yet she continued. Years later, the determination produced extraordinary results. Her daughters completed their education. Her eldest daughter secured a job in the United States. Gradually, the family's financial condition improved. The debts that was once seemed impossible began disappearing. Eventually, all 3 daughters were married and settled. When she's in 60s, Rosie finally felt free. The years of struggle appeared to be over. She visited pilgrimage centers, she spent time in prayer, she traveled, she enjoyed life. Like many people entering retirement, she believed the difficult chapter had ended. But life has a way of reminding us that external circumstances are never completely under our control. Many spiritual traditions teach this truth. Everything in life changes, health changes, relationships change, financial situations change, nothing remains permanent. Yet most of us unknowingly build our happiness upon things that are temporary. In her 70s, Rosie received devastating news. She was diagnosed with cancer. As the illness progressed, her mobility declined. Eventually, she became bedridden. This was perhaps the greatest challenge of her life. not because of physical pain alone, but because she lost her independence. Imagine spending decades caring for others and suddenly needing others to care for you. Imagine being unable to perform simple daily activities and feeling trapped inside a body that no longer responds the way it once did. Rosie experienced exactly this. She became frustrated, angry, impatient. Helpers came and went, nothing seemed right. The woman who had conquered property could not conquer her own mind. Then something unexpected happened. An old friend began visiting her. The friend was a seeker of Ramana Maharshi. Instead of offering sympathy alone, she offered wisdom. She introduced Rosie to a powerful question taught by Ramana Maharshi: who is suffering? At first, the question seemed strange. Rosie thought, of course, I am suffering. But her friend encouraged her to look deeper. Ramana Maharshi taught that we usually identify ourselves completely with the body and mind. When the body suffers, we say, I am suffering. When the thoughts become painful, we say, I am unhappy. But Ramana Maharshi invited seekers to investigate the source of this I. Who exactly is this person claiming ownership of every experience? This enquiry is known as self enquiry. It is considered one of our most direct paths to inner peace. Rosie's friend also spoke about karma, not as punishment, not as reward, but as the natural unfolding of life's causes and effects. This perspective helped Rosie stop asking, why is this happening to me? Instead, she began asking, how can I meet this experience with awareness? This shift is profound. When we constantly resist reality, suffering increases. Does not mean liking the situation. Acceptance means seeing reality clearly before responding wisely. Weeks passed, then months. The illness remained, the physical pain remained, the limitations remained, yet something remarkable happened. Rosie changed, her anger softened, her relationships improved, she became kinder to her caregivers. She spent more time in silence, more time in prayer, more time reflecting on the teachings she had learned. For the first time since becoming bedridden, she experienced peace, not because her circumstances improved, but because her understanding improved. This is one of our most profound lessons in spirituality. Peace does not always come from changing our circumstances. Sometimes peace comes from changing our relationship to those circumstances. Today, Rosie still lives with physical challenges, but mentally she is far stronger than before. She discovered something that many people spend their entire life searching for. The body may become weak, money may come and go, relationships may change, circumstances may fluctuate, but there is a deeper dimension within us that remains unchanged. Raman Maharshi pointed seekers toward the timeless peace, and Rosie found comfort there during the most difficult phase of her life. And the key takeaway teachings from Rosie's life story are: hardship in childhood can either make us bitter or make us stronger. The difference often depends on whether we learn from the experience or become trapped by it. Purpose gives human beings remarkable strength. When people have a meaningful reason to keep going, they often discover abilities they never knew they possessed. Purpose transforms suffering into sacrifice, and sacrifice often becomes success. Many of life's greatest battles happen internally. External success does not automatically create inner peace. Pain is often unavoidable, but resistance to pain creates additional suffering. Acceptance reduces mental suffering even when physical pain remains. If you're going through illness, aging, or uncertainty, remember Rosie's life story. As Raman Maharshi said, the greatest mistake is to think that you are weak by nature. You are the infinite self. Thank you for listening. If Rosie's story inspired you, share in the comments what is the biggest life lesson you learned from her journey. And if you enjoy spiritual stories and teachings from Ramana Maharshi, don't forget to subscribe and join our growing community. Before we conclude, I would love to hear from you. Every life carries its own struggles, victories, and lessons. Perhaps you have gone through illness, loss, family changes, financial hardships, or a spiritual transformation that taught you something valuable about finding peace. What is the most important life lesson that has helped you remain peaceful? Experiences and insights with our community? Your journey may become a source of hope and inspiration for someone who is silently struggling today. You can write to us at the email given in the description. Stories may be featured in future videos so that together we can learn from one another's experiences and grow in wisdom. Remember, sometimes the lesson you learn through your pain may become the light that guides someone else through their darkness. I look forward to reading your stories and learning from your life experiences. May we are all blessed with peace, strength, and inner clarity. Thank you for being part of this community. As narrated by me, Krisha. Thank you for watching.